and welcome to the Blackboard Black Belt Achievement Series, the Grade Center Guru, Part 2. In the last video, we learned how to create calculated and weighted columns and how to set the external grade in the Grade Center. In this video, we will continue exploring Blackboard's Grade Center by taking a closer look at the Manage menu. From the full Grade Center in your Blackboard course, hover over the Manage menu. This menu discloses a variety of different options for the instructor. Let's begin by looking at the Column Organization menu item. This is a very powerful area within the Grade Center, and getting familiar with all of your options in here is well worth your time. As with most other pages in Blackboard, you can click on the More Help link to find more information on the page's features and options. We will be returning to the column organization window throughout this video as we add more features. So for now, let's just discuss a few of the main features and then move on. It's good to realize that each column in the full Grade Center is shown as a row in this column organization window. We can rearrange the columns in the full Grade Center by dragging and dropping the items here in the column organization page. Moving a Grade Center item up on this page moves it to the left in the full Grade Center view. And likewise, moving the item down on this page moves it to the right in the full Grade Center view. Each item also has a checkbox next to it. Instructors can check an item in the column organization page and choose to hide selected items, show selected items if the item is currently hidden, move specific items to the Show in All Grade Center View area. We can also change the category of an item or add it to a different grading period. Back to showing or hiding specific columns in the Grade Center. Please note that hiding an item using this option only hides the Grade Center item from the instructor's view, not from the student's view. An instructor might want to hide a column temporarily in order to make it easier for him or her to work in the full Grade Center. This is especially useful when you have a lot of assignments in your Grade Center and you don't want to scroll a lot. However, if you want to hide a specific Grade Center column from the student's My Grade Center view, click on the column's More Options icon, then select Hide from Student's View on/off. You will immediately notice that there is a red circle with a line through it next to the column's name. This is a quick visual check for you to know that the student cannot see this item in their My Grades view. Let's go back to column organization. We can see that this page allows you to quickly view all of the due dates and points possible for all of your assignments in one place. Pretty handy. As you may have noticed, all the assignments and columns in our Grade Center are not assigned to a grading period. This is a good place to discuss grading period, so let's move on to the grading periods function under the Manage menu. We will return to column organization shortly. Click on Manage and select Grading Periods from the drop-down menu. Grading periods are a great way for instructors to sort their assignments into sections based on the due dates for those assignments. To create a new grading period, click the Create Grading Period button at the top left of the page. Give your grading period a name, add a description if you'd like, then set the grading period date range. If you are unsure of the exact date range, you can always manually add specific assignments to a specific grading period in column organization. To demonstrate this, let's leave the None option selected. Then, click the Submit button. As you can see, our newly created Unit 1 grading period was added to the list. To modify a previously created grading period, locate the More Options icon next to the grading period that you would like to edit. Click the Options menu icon, then click Edit. Make any desired changes that you'd like. Click Submit. Let's return to our column organization page. Here we can manually assign a few assignments to our new Unit 1 grading period. To do this, click on the checkbox next to the assignment that you would like to assign to the grading period. Then, click the Change Grading Period button. Choose Unit 1. We can now see that those assignments are now organized under the Unit 1 area. Clicking the Submit button will commit our changes and return us to the full Grade Center. The full Grade Center is now organized to show these 3 assignments first, then the total grade column. Not quite what we want. So let's go back into column organization and show you a few more features of this powerful area. Click Manage and select Column Organization to return to the Column Organization page. The column organization shows all the columns that will be shown in the Grade Center view. Instructors can use filtered views of the Grade Center to enable easy viewing of specific groups, categories, grading periods, etc. We will get into that in more detail later in the video. Any column listed in this top area will show up in all custom Grade Center views that you set up. By default, there are 6 Grade Center columns in this area, but you can add more by simply clicking on the 4-sided arrow icon to the left of the column's name and dragging the column to the Show in All Grade Center Views area. Let's move the total, letter grade, and weighted column items into this area. Now these columns will show up in every Grade Center view that we create, just what we want. You might have also noticed this gray bar. Any item that you place above this bar will stay frozen to the left of the page in the full Grade Center. This allows the item to be viewable no matter how far to the right you have to scroll to do your work in the full Grade Center. Let's move the total letter grade and weighted column items above the gray bar to demonstrate. Now the last name, first name, and 3 grade columns are grayed out in the full Grade Center and will stay in place when we scroll to the right. One thing to notice is that the My Letter Grade column that I created earlier is using the plus-minus system. This may or may not be the letter grading system that you use. No worries though, we can change that in the Grading Schemas section. So let's do that now. First, hover over the Manage menu, then select the Grading Schemas option. By default, Blackboard has one grading schema set up for instructors. We can add a new grading schema or revise the default one. For this demonstration, we're going to make a copy of the default one. Click the More Options menu next to the schema's title and select Copy. Hover over the grading schema that you want to edit so that the Options menu icon appears. Click the Options menu icon, then click Edit. I'm going to leave the name the same, but I want to remove the plus-minus system. This is easily accomplished by simply clicking the Delete Row link to the right of the row or rows that you want to remove. Notice that we can't remove the top row, but that's okay, we can rename it. Now that we have all the extraneous rows removed, we can rename the A+ row to just A. Then set the graded scores between options to correct the values for our grading schema. One thing to keep in mind when setting these options is that Blackboard is very literal. If you set an A to 90% and 100%, a score of 89.99 will be scored as a B. If you plan on rounding your grades, be sure to accommodate for that here. I think I'll be nice and round the grades for the students in this course, so I'm going to make an A be anything from 89.5% to 100%. And then set the remaining letter grades appropriately. If you plan on manually entering in letter grades into the full Grade Center, You may want to consider revising the percentages found under the Will Calculate As column. I don't think that I'll be manually entering letter grades into the full grade center, so I'm just going to leave these values as they are. Then, click Submit. I'm going to make some changes to my letter grade column so that it'll be displayed without the plus-minus system. Click the More Options icon next to the letter grade column and select Edit Column Information. From here, I will navigate to where my primary display is and change it from letter to my new schema that I just created. Click Submit to commit my changes. Now my letter grade column is no longer displaying in a plus or minus system. Another way to easily visualize how your students are doing in the course is by using the grading color code functions. This function is found by hovering over the Manage menu, then selecting Grading Color Codes option. From here we can check the Enable Grading Color Code box, then set the options for the grading status and/or grading ranges. For example, let's say that I want an easy and colorful way to find all assignments that are in progress and needs grading. I would like all assignments that are in progress to be yellow and all needs grading assignments to be in green. I would also like anyone that received an F to show up in red. To do this, I will click the Add Criteria button here. Then change this option to less than and enter 49.5 in the percent field. Change the background color to red. Then click Submit. Now that we are back in the full grade center, we will need to click on the button for Show Color Coding. We can see that there are a few assignments now in green, indicating that it's good for me to go ahead and grade them. There are also assignments that are in red, indicating that this student didn't do so well in this assessment. I may want to follow up with him. Well, that concludes the second video in the Grade Center Guru course. In the next video, we will continue exploring the Manage menu. See you soon in Part 3.